Be nice if my microphone was turned on. Yeah. Um, I don't know if I can set that up to not monitor my voice, but anyway, let me see here. What the heck? Alright, so, like, there's these discs. They call floppies, and they used to use them some years ago. Now they use CDs, and now they use little USB chips and all that other kind of stuff. But anyway, this is an example of a 2DD, which is double density, 720K floppy disk right here. And this keyboard, the Korg ONW, has a floppy disk that saves all the program, all the sounds. I don't think you can do anything with the bass sounds. Like, there's basic sounds, the foundational sounds. There's like 256 of them. And you use those sounds to create programs like a piano or a saxophone or instruments. And then you take those programs and you make what's called a combination. Well, you can use 8 of the 256 sounds to make a program, and you can make a combination with 8 programs. And all those programs are sent through MIDI channels. And so what I do is I take this floppy right here and I put it into the keyboard over there. And I load the combinations and everything else. But the problem with these discs is that they've gotten damaged. And so I used a program on another computer which I tried to salvage the data off of these disks. And a small number of them wouldn't even read the disk. Now, this was one of them, and I've got about 5 or 6 or 7 other disks where the disk could not be read by the computer. Before I continue, let me just go ahead and freeze frame this stuff over here. Let me minimize this, and this actually technically goes over here so I can see it better. I'm going to go over here and freeze frame this. Now, it's a little bit unfortunate. You can't quite see what's going on. I have you know what I could do, actually? And I think it would be a good idea, and I might do it on the next stream. I'm just going to get this started. Once everything is kind of started up, I think I'm going to stream on my other computer, the one that gives me this echo issue. And maybe we can nail down that problem with the echo. Because I was generating music from there, and I don't remember. I think it was just the music itself that was echoing, and I was monitoring. No, I wasn't. I don't know. Remember where I was monitoring my stream. But anyway, yeah, that's that story. So I'm gonna get this machine started up here. Where is this? Is this stopped? Yeah, this is stopped. Okay, good. So I gotta go down under. I gotta go to the land down under. And there's actually a way that I'll stream on the other computer. I don't know. I don't have to have my earplugs in, so I don't have to listen to myself. You get to listen to me, though. And you can actually see the program in action. Because I can set that up to do that when I stream on the other computer. So I think that would be a good idea later today. Um, I don't need to connect up, like, we don't, well, yeah, I suppose I do, don't I? To hear the sounds. So there's a program, it's called MIDI aux, and that's what I use to transfer all of my programs from the disk to the keyboard to the computer, and so on. And of course, I can't see how to plug this in. That's a weird way to do it. Alright, now I've got to listen for the computer to come on. I'm going to turn the computer on first, and then I'll fire up the keyboard and such. Hey, okay, I think the key. Wait, hold the fort. No. What's going on? My monitor's not coming on. I think the computer was coming on, but the monitor was just turned off. So I will go ahead and pop that baby on real quick. Once this thing fires up. So I actually use two computers. And I'm not seeing anything. Maybe the computer didn't come on? Oh shoot, it just came on. That's okay, let me turn it on again. The monitor comes on now. No big deal, we'll get it done. So the problem was this extension cable right here. This is a USB extender cable, and I could send the data from the keyboard to the computer, but I couldn't send the data from the computer to the keyboard for whatever reason. Now, my other computer that I stream on, not this one that I'm streaming on, but my other one, I can send and receive from that computer, and that computer's downstairs in the basement, and it also has an extender, and it's got the USB hub. Whoopsie daisy. So you tell me. I have no idea, you know? But this computer here, you cannot see this um, on the stream because it's not connected to the internet, or it's not networked or anything like that. So now yesterday, yeah, I'll probably God almighty in heaven. I gotta change a few things here before this thing boots up. This is an old computer, and it's very quiet, which is kind of what I like. Really wasn't sure, like, when I'm doing my sessions and I'm setting up my sounds for the music that I want to do, I can't use these discs that's over here. Right, you can barely see my hand. I can't use the discs in this disk drive. Wait just a minute here. Let me see if I can move this a little. It's like right there on the end. I mean, I can. I got some brand new ones, you know, and but I've got to go through all my discs that have my music on it from like 20 some odd years ago. before I do anything. And I got probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 discs that's got stuff on it. And almost every disc had a read error. Um, Now, what was kind of strange is the disc that I showed you could not even be read by the other computer. And I had problems with the floppy disk drives. I got a bunch of floppies. I build computers, so I know all about this stuff. And maybe the drive controller in the computer wasn't reading the data correctly either. I have no idea. But when I brought this disc over here to the keyboard and plugged it in, lo and behold, I got my songs. So I said to myself, I'm gonna try to load the songs and everything up first on this keyboard. Then, if it doesn't work, I'm gonna go back to the other computer and see if I can load the data and retransfer it. Um, I got these raw data files, and I'm not really sure how to. It might be. Uh, I want to be able to transfer them digitally to the keyboard to see if they work, and then retransfer them back up and save them. That's my that's my plan. So right now I'm just booting up this other computer here at some point in life. I think it's ready. And I've already done a few discs, so I know it works. But I had repaired my keyboard. I'd fixed the keys, and I may decide to take it apart again because now I've got some issues with this C key and one of the black keys up here. They're like the key itself. I mean, the key itself is a little sticky, which I can tell has an issue, and I don't know if like this keyboard's like 20 years old, and I like it. It's for 2,500 bucks. Yeah, you gotta like your stuff, you know. So I wanted to load MIDI aux onto Windows XP, and I had all kinds of issues with that stupid operating system. I just gave up on it. I spent like 3 days, 4 days trying to get it to work, and I said, you know what, I'm done with it. So I decided to put Windows 7 on it. That's what I did. So now I've got Windows 7 on this. I also have Windows 7 on the other streaming computer. I also have all the other music programs, the data exchange programs for the keyboard on my other streaming computer. So I thought, well, you know what? When I connect the network up, I'm going to do both the transfer both the transfers from keyboard to PC and PC back to keyboard on the streaming computer, and I can bring up the MIDI aux program and I can show you everything that's happening. But I'm not going to do it on this stream because I kind of didn't think about it, you know. It's a job. If I can get it to work, I'm going to. I think I'm going to do everything on this computer. If there are some, like the discs are going to load the data into the keyboard or not. Okay, that's like step number one. So down underneath here we have what's called a MIDI patch bay. This MIDI patch bay is actually controllable, and so they said, okay, it's got like 8 MIDI channels, 8 in and 8 out, and they said, okay, well, you connect the in to the out. You connect channel 2 in to channel 2 out, yada, yada, yada. Well, I got news for you. It doesn't work that way. You can use a program, and you can assign any number of output channels to any number of input channels. I mean, you can mix and match and everything else. Kind of crazy. And so I don't know what happened. Like when I shut the program off, it wouldn't go channel 2 in, channel 2 out. It just wouldn't even work at all. So I gave up, And then I figured out how to access the patch bay with MIDI aux, which is this program. And so when I made the changes and turned it back off, it wouldn't work. When I turned the MIDI aux program back on, it worked. I don't really understand all of that exactly why, but there's some features about that was not explained regarding the changing of the patches. And there's very little support on this stuff. You got to figure it out yourself, you know. All right, the computer is on. I'm not going to turn on the MIDI aux program yet. I guess I am going to plug in the keyboard because we're going to do something. I made a change yesterday to one of the programs. Now, what was strange is that the change remained on the program without me saving it. Now, I don't know what the deal with that was, and I'm talking about the program on the Korg. The only one that I changed was on the piano, and I don't honestly remember what that setting was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reload all the data from the ROM in the keyboard again. And then I'm going to save it on this other old computer. Then I'll have 2 or 3 versions or whatever, you know, of the files. The ROM is working fine, so you wouldn't think I'd need to. But what if I make a whole bunch of changes to combinations and programs and stuff? When you turn this keyboard off and then you turn it back on, guess what? I think you lose everything. But now I've got a battery. Well, I had a battery in there before, and when I made the changes and turned it back on, no, the sequences disappeared. So I don't remember. Like all that stuff you would think would remain on, like anything you change, songs, everything else, when you turn this thing back on, everything should still be there. Now I wonder about the programs and the combinations. That doesn't make any sense, you know? Like why you would have to load that stuff every time. Like what if you make a whole bunch of changes to stuff, that stuff should still be there. But lo and behold, it isn't. All right, the network's connected, the computer is on, the keyboard is supposedly connected. We're going to fire this baby up here. Actually, wait a minute. I'm going to plug in the mixer, and you might hear some noise again. There's a little bit of background noise. Oh, the guitar is on. What I can do is I can disconnect the other computer here. Yeah, I think that may have gotten rid of the noise. I'm not sure. That's okay. Let's fire this up here. I hear a humming sound. Wait just a minute. Yep. It's coming from the connection between the 2 mixers. You don't really hear it that bad when I play the music because the music's kind of loud anyway. Alright, now we're going to fire this keyboard up. this area right here with my chords. I could shift the octave up, maybe, and that lessens the amount of time that I use, because I've got a problem with this. Let me go to program. Oops, what did I do? Wait. Now the volume seems kind of low. I don't know, it's weird. Sometimes the volume's low, sometimes it's high. Now I forgot which keys it was. I think it was these two. Yeah, it's this key up here. It's still giving me an issue. This one's still a little bit dead. To hit him a little bit harder than usual. Still a little bit dead, but it's playing. Yeah, those keys are a little bit dead, aren't they? God, that almost sounds out of tune. What the hell? Hear it fade off the tune. Pitch is off. Anyway. For the most part, I fixed all the keys. Alright, let's go to what I was doing. I always get distracted with stuff. Now, I should have turned off my light that I've got, because it's got a lot of reflections. And, lo and behold. Alright, so if I go to Edit Program on this piano, no, that's not it either. It wasn't. I know it wasn't the combination. Edit Program. This freaking cable is in the way. I meant to turn off that light because I cannot see what I'm doing. Thought that I made a change. If the number was like 26 or something, I forget what the hell it was. I was working with some attack features of the sound. And where exactly are they? I'm having a hard time seeing the display panel. No wonder what it's set to 3. One is more contrasty. I guess, I don't know. 4 is pretty good. Let me go back to the program. Yeah, that's better. was the first VDF, which is some sort of a filter. There's a velocity sense on the piano. There's a bunch of stuff in here. There's keyboard track, I'm not sure what that means, EGT time, EGT, keyboard track, velocity sensitive, There's some effects. Let me go back. Then it says write program, and you can save this to any of the 99 programs that's on the bank. You can even change the bank and save it too. So like you could have a whole set of different piano sounds, okay, and then you decide you want to write a piano. Fine, you use one of those sounds. Then you go and you reload the programs and look for a bass sound or something like that. So that's 81 and 56, the VDA. The VDF was some number. Now I got it, it looks like it says 97. Now, I don't remember if it was, I haven't changed that too right now, which I'm not sure what these numbers are. So let's change it to 99. Now if I go back to, if I change the program and then go back, and then go back to edit program, oh, it says 97. So it must have went back to the original. I honestly don't know. So regardless, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reload from the ROM in, it says combinations and programs. So the ROM is your basic startup. So I'm going to load this back up. Actually, I got a better idea. Let me go to program. Let me edit again. And we'll change this to 97. And then we'll go ahead and write the program. 201. Yes. Right. Yes. And then go back. Now it says 99. Okay. Now I'm going to go to global. I'm going to load from the ROM all of the combinations and programs again. It says it's completed. I will go back to program 1 and it's back to 97. So, and that DT was whatever the heck it was. So everything is normal. Now we go to global, back to page 0. And we've got to set the exclusive, which has to do with your MIDI channels, to enable. That's been done. Now I can send and I can transmit and send and receive all the data from the keyboard and so on. If I go to my sequences, there are no songs. I don't care about the songs. So that's done. Now I'm going to load up this program, which you can't see, but I will change that. There are no MIDI input devices, really. Okay, let's go to options, MIDI devices. Oh, I'm having a problem with this damn monitor again. It's blocking my view with sensitivity settings, and I don't know why in the F it does that. Oh, it's not seeing my wow, what the hell. It's not seeing the patch bay at all. Is it plugged in? Fuck. It's plugged in. But it's not seeing the patch bay. Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously? Oh, you know what I probably have to do? So when this happens, you have to disconnect and reconnect the patch bay. So I'll do that. I'll wait for a couple seconds. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was not good. I could see sparks jumping off the grounds. Damn it, the fuck. What the freaking hell? I've never seen that before. In all my years of working with computers, I've never seen the sparks jump off of that extender cable onto the other network cable. That was a hellacious freaking spark. Fuck. I wonder if it'll do that with the keyboard shut off. Because I don't see the MIDI devices yet. They're not there. Let me restart the program. It's seeing it now. Oh! Yeah, I ain't touching shit right now. Alright, so we know that the output is MIDI channel 2. That's what I used before. So the output from the keyboard goes into, yeah, I don't freaking remember what the hell I did. Yeah, I think it goes into channel 2. I don't know what it does. Oh, it's already there. Alright, let's go ahead and press a key. And it's not working. That's not good. Alright, we're gonna have this issue again, huh? Because yeah, this is the output cable. The input cable's on the other side. And wouldn't you know it? Okay, that feels like a thin cable right there. I've got one input cable coming down here, which is this guy down on the bottom. The other input cable, I don't know which one it is. It's one of them. Let's see here. I think it's this one on the end. I thought it was channel 2. That's a thin cable. So that input has to be connected to an output back here. Oh, you know I could have these backwards. Could have them backwards. Because, yeah, there's two cables running back there. One of them's thick and one of them's thin. I think the thin one is supposed to be the output. But there's two thin cables. I got 3 freaking cables on the inputs here. I don't know what the hell is what, you know? There's channel 8. Oh, there's channel 7, which is a thick cable. That's an input. Okay, it could be channel 7. There's only 2 cables connected to the keyboard. And I only use one at a time. Like, I don't use input output at the same time because I don't want to take the chance of having a MIDI feedback loop. So let's try channel 7 and see if it works. And it does not. This mouse is pretty sad. Let's try channel 2. And it does not. Let's try channel... Wait, did I do? Yeah, try channel 6. And it does not. So I'm fucking screwed either way here. I have no idea what the hell's connected to what. All I know is the output channel. Wait a minute. Oh, those are inputs. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do this. 7. Yeah, it's channel 7. Okay, we're in business. Channel 7 is an input channel, and the output channel is channel 2. So, the other one, channel 6, I think, is connected to this here, and channel 2 on the input, I don't know exactly what that is. Because there's only one input channel, and that's channel 7. What the hell is this other one, though? What is channel... What is channel 2? That's a... Oh my God in heaven, I thought it was channel 2. Unless if that's channel 7. You know, I should have a picture of that, honestly. I don't know where that damn cable is going. Oh, I see it. I see it. It's going up top here. It's going up to this cable here. This is channel 2. That's the one I had connected. Not channel 7. I should switch that so I know what is what. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close the program. And theoretically that shuts off this thing, but it's still connected with this. That spark really just scared the crap out of me. I've never seen that happen before. Now that is a fair amount of cable, ain't it? I hate the way these cables are set up back here. supposed to be a through. Okay, that must be what this thick one is then. That's exactly what that is. Okay. Alright, I get it sorted out now. More or less. What are you going to do, you know? Alright, so what I have is a through cable. There's MIDI in, MIDI out, and MIDI through. So when I connect the bottom keyboard, which is here, to the top keyboard, the output only comes from the top keyboard. The through MIDI connection comes from the bottom keyboard, so I can use the bottom keyboard to actually control this, and I can use it to control a software synth on a computer. So let's turn this back on again. You can't really see much, but hey, because I got the lights out. I got the lights out, baby. What you gonna do? Bad boy, when they come for you. Huh? Alright, so now we go to Options, MIDI Devices. We're going to remove MIDI Channel 7. We're going to re-add MIDI Channel 2. And lo and behold, we've got data. Alright, it's working. So I've loaded the ROM. Now we go into the MIDIOX program. We go into a place where it says View. And then we go, it says SysEx, S-Y-S-E-X. And it's got a few dots at the end of it. We've got two windows, a command window and a display window. We go to the SysEx view and scratch pad. We go to SysEx, we go to configure, and we set the low level input and output buffers to 126 size and 16 number, whatever that is. I've set the delay to 120 milliseconds. Delay after F7, whatever that means, that was set to 60, I guess. And then show F0 to F7 in colored text. Those are the beginning and end points of each buffer, or all of the buffers, whatever. So that's all set. Now I go back to SysEx and receive manual dump. And so what we're going to do, we're going to receive I'm going to go up to this, we're going to change the page on the global setting to data dump, and I'm going to send all data. Oh shit, oh, I hit dump. Oh damn it, I didn't want to do that. Let's just send it anyway. said nothing was sent. That's because I didn't have a file saved or something to that effect. See, for some reason I can't. Alright, there's dump all data. Alright, so now we want to go, what we have to do is we have to set a file name. And to do that, wait, no, I just received manual dump. Wait for completion. Okay, now I'm going to hit the dump key, and it's receiving data. So what you got to do is you've got to set the program to receive the data first, let it sit there, and then you hit the dump key on the keyboard, and away she goes. It's a little bit slow, but there's only about 72K worth of data. 74.481K of data has been received. That's all data. I hit done. I see the F7 at the end, and now I'm going to, that's in the display window. I'm going to save as, and we'll call this, I can't see nothing, man. I can't see the letters on the keyboard. Let's see. I need these glasses. Oh, God. Alright. KMAS. Kmaster. A-data. Kmaster A-data. Okay. Uh, 2026. Oh my God, I can't see these fucking numbers. I cannot see nothing. 026. What the heck's going on here? There we go. Alright, now if I go to File, I'm still in the SysX program. If I go to Load File, I can see what I did, and it says 73K. Now, what I'm going to do, and I can't see nothing. Honestly, I've got to have these. I can't see anything. All right, it's going to go to Program, and go to Save Program. I'm going to set the attack number. Oops, to 99. Then I'm going to write it into the program. I'm going to verify that that number is there. It's on page 2. And the attack number is set to 99. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reload all of the data from the computer, which supposedly does not work. You have to be in global mode on the keyboard. I'll set this back to page 0. If I can. Alright. And the exclusive is enabled. I'll just go up over there. Alright, file, load file. Wait, actually no, wait, yeah. Let's go, we'll go file. It says send sysx file. No output is selected and there are no sysx buffers. Only manual dump is supported. Make sure options past sysx is checked. Alright, well, options past sysx is checked. Go back to view sysx panel. We're going to load a file this time. I'm going to load what I just did. That is now loaded. Send sysx file. No output device is selected. Oh wait, that's right. We've got to switch the MIDI channel. We're going to drop the input channel and add the output channel. Now it's giving me this error. What the hell? I changed the patch and it's not working. Yeah. It's not seeing the output channel. That's why I can't do it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bypass that step. And we're going to start, well, let me just see something here. These discs have numbers on them. Like this one's disc 2. This mouse works for shit, I'm telling you. It's one of those cheap ball mouses. And we go to sysx, which I'm in sysx. I've got receive manual dump, no. File, load file. Oh, I don't have anything here. I think I may have used a different program. I may have used a program called Change It. Let's try this program. All the buffers are set. Let's go back to my MIDI input channel, which is 2. And just verify this here. Open up the sysx program again. Okay, so now we're going to start receiving dumps, and I gotta look at my flashlight here. This disc works. All the discs that works are up here on top here. Latest December 96, disc 2, old, yada, from old A1, need to remove songs for some good for a working disc. Now I'm more concerned about the songs rather than so I'm gonna plug this in. Plug it in, yeah. Put this disc into the disc reader if I can get it in here. And we're going to load from the disc. So you go to global. There's card load, preload, data dump. Oh, I forgot about this. So, in order to load stuff from the disk, there's actually a button on the keyboard that I spent over half an hour trying to find. And I'm going to take your sorry ass and get rid of it very quickly. Goddamn fucking people with their fucking stream boost shit can shove it up their A double. I'm gonna try to get Nightbot back in here again. I don't know why the hell. What have I gotta do? Load up Nightbot every damn time? How come it's not asking me to load it to the thing here? See, I don't know. Nightbot's not working for fuck now. You know what? Chat moderation, yada yada yada. It's enabled. So I don't know what's going on. I really don't care. The sorry ass is booted. So let me go back to my stream thing here. You can't really see very well, but hey, what can I say, you know? Alright. I've got the disk in the drive. I'm going to load just the sequence. If I can find it here. Disk. It says load all data, but I definitely do not want to do that. I'm just going to load the sequences to file A, from file A. And now that file is a bit long. It's about 190K. It doesn't take too long to load into the thing here. It says it's completed. Now we go to sequence mode and go ahead and go up through the songs. All the songs are there. Now I go back to global. Now when you set the global, everything stays there. Now I can just dump sequence. Now if I wanted to, I could dump, when I dump all data, it's going to dump the, okay, it'll dump the combinations and the sequence too. So if I go to the disk and load everything, I'm a little bit afraid to do that. I'm not going to do it that way because of the errors in the disk. My priority is the songs. I think I'm going to do it on an individual basis, and I'm going to end up doing that. No, I'm not going to stream all of that. It's just ridiculous to sit here and stream that stuff. But anyway, I've got it set to dump sequence. So we're going to hit receive manual data and then hit dump. And now it is sending the sequence data to the computer. Pretty cool, huh? So it's about 190K. It's already at 50K. And I discovered that somebody was mentioning to set the buffers to a higher number, like 500, and it just kept shutting down. It kept shutting down. So I did the opposite. I set the buffers to a lower number, 128 and 16. Works like a charm. It goes a little bit slower. You can see the little dots light up, the LEDs light up and everything. I mean, I can't particularly see it light up back there, but all right, 173,328. Now I'm going to click done. And now I want to be able to send. Okay, this is a display window. So we're going to save this as disk to sequence. I don't know if the combinations have changed or whatever, or I think what I'm gonna do is, because now this this disk drive may or may not have issues. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through every disc and just load the sequences, which is my songs, and I'm going to skip. I'm not going to load the combinations and everything. It's going to be a job. But hey, I'm getting it started. I'm saving up my old music, and we're talking music from 20 years ago. This disc is like, that was 96. That was 96. It said 96 right on the disc. 0616. Wait, what? 061626. December of 96. That's almost 30 years. 30 years ago that I played this music. And I've just saved it on my computer. That is crazy. Let's hear what this sounds like. That's all connected. That's connected. We should be able to hear some music here. Can't see it very well. Go to sequence. And we just hit play somewhere. It's over here. That's some of my old music, man. Oh crap. You know what's happening? It's sending all of the data to the computer while I'm playing the song. Well, so what? Just let it do it. And I actually may have 2 or 3 different songs on the same thing here. God only knows what I've got on here. You can tell the drums are not like all that great. It's actually a Peruvian song that I was listening to. Pretty cool, huh? Listening to music almost 30 years old that I created on that disc. That is crazy. loud, and the sequence level's too low. But if I save this on Ableton, I can play it back and record it right back on Ableton. Piano sounds pretty some of that stuff's a bit off, you know. This was like, I thought this keyboard came out in 1999, but this disc was 96. I'll tell you why I got this keyboard. I got this keyboard because this is the keyboard that is used by, I don't have no place to put my stupid earbuds, the keyboard player in Genesis. And I'm like, I gotta have this keyboard, okay? I gotta have it. I don't care, $1,000, $2,000, whatever it costs. I need to have that keyboard, and I got it. You know, now you can get a box, a MIDI box that has the Korg O1W synths on the MIDI box, and then you can. But I don't know how you would. You could use this controller thing called Change It or something to change all the settings, but that is just, you know, you got to have that stuff on the keyboard. It is just so much quicker and easier to go right to the information on the keyboard and make the changes than to do it on a computer. I mean, people just don't take the time to do it, you know, because you want to write the song. You want to take the time. You want to take your time to write the song and not have to sit there for 2 or 3 days creating the sounds to make the song, you know. You get this idea for a song and then you want to add stuff to it. Yeah, maybe that's okay. All right. So, I'm going to pop this disc. And I'm going to put this disc over here. These other ones, I don't know exactly what these other ones are. What I'm going to do, and I should do those too, but I'm going to bring this pile of discs over. I still got a lot more discs, okay? This is the pile of discs that were not able to be recognized by my other computer. So, I'm going to put these, actually, on this box. Actually, I should put them over here on this box over here. These ones I have not gone through yet. So this one's disc 6. Let me get my trusty flashlight here. Meditation music demos master copy of number 6A. I'm just going to call it disc 6. And what I should do, I mean, even walking around, like I'm walking around on a rug and stuff, you never know, static electricity goes inside these magnetic discs, you know. You put them near a magnet and they're pooched. So I already did one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down sequence. And I write SEQ, and I'm going to write a check mark next to it. That will tell me that I've loaded the songs from the disk, and that aspect of that job is done. So let's try this one. Like I said, these disks have not been able. The other computer will not recognize these disks. So my hope is that I'll be able to load the sequences from the disk. And I should be able to go. I've got dump sequence set on global. And on disk, I've got load all sequence, file A. I didn't check file B on that other disk. Let's just do this one and see what happens. Now it says error, no file. Not a good thing. Now we sit and wait. Let's go to file B, load all sequence. Error, no file. Let's see if it will load anything. Let's try combi and program and see if it will load. Error, no file. So both files A and B, no sequence and no combination and program. And I know there's something on the disk. Well, it says it's a master copy of 6A. We'll try load all data. And that doesn't work. You have to wait till it stops running before you take it out. I can't even find a little knob to take it out here. How do I take this fucker out of there? Meditation music and demos, master copy of 6A. So this disk is pooched, you know. actually, let me put this one back in and see if there's something on B. There might be something on B on this one. So there's like two banks and there's two file areas. Let's go load all sequence file B. That's loading sequence data. And I'll have to rechange that to file A. And that says completed. Now we'll see what this stuff is. Well, that's too bad. I think I've lost that. It says it's a copy of 6A now. I don't know where 6A is. So I got my work cut out for me to do all this sequence data stuff. Let's find out if I can get this thing set up here, what these songs sound like. This is on the same disk that I just used earlier, but it's file B. It's possible that I've changed something on my drum set. I mean, the basic idea of the song is there. I may try to load the combinations and programs and play this and find out if it changed that A9. My drums, I never could get the drums to work in sequence very well. Sometimes I'll do 2 or 3 songs on the same, like there might be different takes or something, and I'll have a bunch of plays set up and some things are muted and whatever. I didn't notice the time change though. But anyway, that's okay. It's really not going to change the aspect of the song. Number 5. Programs and combos after. That's okay. I got the idea for the song is all I want, you know? Stop this song. Oh. Let me go back to 5. Now I'm going to save this sequence. We're going to be pretty much done with the stream pretty soon here. Display window. I wonder, you know, if does it append the data or does it change it? We're going to find out very shortly. It says 173.28 bytes received. So let me go. This is file B. So I go to global, dump sequence data. I'm ready to dump. And then we'll go to sysx receive manual dump. And it is now dumping data. And like I said earlier, I can't send the data to the keyboard for whatever reason. I'm going to leave everything the way it is because I'm fairly certain the output channel is correct. $30. The disc has been sitting in those boxes for like 30 years. This was right after I got the keyboard. This is 128.108. Done. Oh, it was all red there for a minute. Alright, so display windows save as. I've got disk 2 sequence, and we'll call it file B. File B. It saves it like, I mean, it's just, pretty quick. Now let me go into the directory of MIDI aux. Somewhere over the rainbow. And my sysx files are here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What the fuck? Oh, those are change it files. That is weird. That is interestingly weird. Kmaster all data change it. That tells me that I saved I saved the program. Okay, there's a 102K. I'm just getting into this stuff and it's taken a while. There is the stuff that I'm doing here on this program are saving fine. So let's go ahead and rename this one to file A. Now I've got the sequences, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the program in combination. I got to put the disk back in. Slide it right over the top of that piece of plastic, why don't we? Now we are going back to disk. We're going to load just the combination and program from file A. Actually, there probably isn't one on file B. Let's try file B and see if there's one there. It says error, no file. Okay, that's fine. Now I'll go back to file A and load program combination. And it is loading data. That's all done. We're going to go to the sequence number 5 and see if that sound shows up there. I didn't happen to notice if the numbers on the MIDI channels were the same. Like something got changed. It might be the drum set. So let's go to program, and we're going to scoot up to channel 9, which is the drum set. Find those bells. I don't think that's it. See, that's why I don't like using the keys for the drums. So I think using the keys for the drums is what messed up the tabs underneath the relay things. So you've got to use a MIDI controller like a box, and that's what I did. I bought a drum machine that had the 4 setups, the 4 little pads on it, and I was going to MIDI that into the setup here, which I haven't done yet, to use my drum set. You know, I really don't know. It's a lot of work to figure out. No, I can't stop that sound for some reason. I don't know why. But so on. That says LB drums. That's not the drum set that I have. LB drums. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's a program. Anyway, I'm going to go to global. I'm going to dump. Oh, no, here's a problem. So there's dump program data and dump combination data. Dump drum kit. I don't want to be doing this all separate, you know? That's going to be a lot of work. If I take a chance and dump all data on a disk, oh, you know what I could do? I could do it separately. Let me just find out what that other song sounds like. I believe it's number 8. Everything sounds good with the music now. What did I load? I was able to load combination and program. So if I go to global and dump all data, I'll be done with that disk. I want to dump the sequence data into it though. And I'm not doing that all separately. I'm not familiar with the drum kits. I've never changed anything with the drum kits. Let's try dump all data, I guess. And then, you know, I've got dump sequence, disk 2, so on and so forth. That's file A and file B. And just disk 2 all data then, I guess. No, because that's only going to dump you can only load a sequence from one file into the sequencer. So I wonder if dumping all data is going to load. It's going to load the sequence data that's currently in the keyboard, and you won't know if it's A or B. So what I'm going to do, let's see, receive manual dump, and I'm going to dump all data because I'm going to make this job easy for me. So I think what I should do is when I put a disk in there, go for the sequences first, save those, and then try to dump all data or something. But that other disk never even got read. So what are you going to do, you know? I haven't ate my breakfast yet. To get this all set up with this computer and the program, well, the programs are already there on the disk, but on a computer, but with this patch bay, I've had this patch bay for quite a while, and it's a godsend, I'm telling you. You could not do anything without it. The patch bay has the standard MIDI connector setup, and the Korg ONW only has a standard MIDI setup. So in order to connect the computer to the keyboard, you've got to have a patch bay because the computer has a network cable that goes into the patch bay, and that gets converted to the regular MIDI channels. You know, that's pretty amazing. So I got 198 623 here. Now, if I go back to my, well, I haven't saved this yet, have I? So now we're going to display window save as. This is going to be disk to A data, and I'm going to put I'll put song FB on there. Now, let's see here. Theoretically, file B is 126. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, something's not, wait. Yeah, there it is. 73. The song sequences, file B was 126K, file A was 170K. All data is 194. So if I subtract 194 and I can't. Wait, yes I can. Um, 126. Assuming that file B was sent over. 9 subtract 2 is 7, so that's 6, 8. That leaves me 68K. All of the combination program data sizes are 73K. So That number didn't add up. One. That's 24K. If I subtract 73K from this 74K, it's 120. I don't know about the all data. I don't know, but I got the songs. I think that's all I'm going to worry about. I think. I don't know. I don't know, you know? Why don't I go ahead and do these good discs? I really don't want to, but I already didn't I? Let me see here. Let me look through these other discs, the ones that did not work, and see if there's a disc 6. There's a 7 and 8. I don't know what those are. New combinations. Theoretically, none of these discs are going to work for me. I know 4, something there. I don't know. Let's try disc 7 and see if we can load combination. This one says new stuff, easy listening and mellow, etc. See if this will load. I'll take the disc out. I'm gonna find the damn button. Alright, so that disc is done. Let's see if we can load sequence data. We're in luck, I think. We're in luck. Now I've got the combinations of programs from that previous disk, so you know it could sound a little bit off. Okay, it may not have got all the songs, but it did get something. So. Or the combinations from that disk. That's song number 1. I'm going to load the combinations of programs from file A. Error, no file. Let's try combinations of programs file B. Uh-oh, it's loaded something. exclusive is disabled. Okay, that's weird. I'm just gonna leave it there. You know, whatever. Maybe I load the ROM data, which is pretty easy. It seems like that's easy to do. Okay, you can actually copy songs to another song number, and that's what I did there, probably. It's possible that some of the data didn't get copied. So I gotta do sequence data and then all data. When that disk is done, I guess. I can't see a damn thing. Dump sequence. This is disk 7. I mean, you know, it's a bit of a mess, but it's working, you know. Computers are good stuff if you can get them to work. 63.669. Alright, and then let's see, display windows save as, and this is going to be disk 7. You should just call it sequence A. Sequence A. Now let's see if we can load sequence B. Let's see if there's anything on there. It's loading a fair amount of data here. Now mind you, this is a disk that the other computer could not read. So that's got to be a good thing. Sequences and maybe I save them. I have like maybe like file A will be a work section and file B will be like a master section, looks like it's more completed or something, maybe, you know. file A sequences didn't all load or something. Alright, so let's see. I gotta go back to disk. Dump sequence. Receive manual dump. So I've got about 40 or 50 some odd disks to do this with. I decided I did like 10 or so disks. On the other computer, I tried to load the data with a program, and I kept getting these errors, and some of them were taking a really long time to load the data, and I just would give up on it. And I was thinking maybe I should just try to load this stuff on the keyboard first, whereas the other computer it might have a chance of ruining it, you know, like ruining the disk. Alright, display windows, save as. This is going to be disk 7 sequence. Disk 7 sequence B. Now I'm going to do another dump. Receive data. I'm going to go down and dump all data. And theoretically, the all data dumps the combinations and programs. And the current sequence that's inside the computer, inside the keyboard. So right now, song B is in there. I could actually put down the file B equals file A because it's the same songs. Kind of a boring stream, yeah. I don't know how long I've streamed, probably an hour or more. Okay, so let's get all the data. And this will be disk 7 A data. FB. I wonder if I can use an equal sign to say it. FB equals file A. Disk 7 all data FB equals A, whatever. Let me just go look at my directory really quickly here. Yeah, it works fine. That disk is done. So this disk supposedly, like, I don't know, you know, I got what I got out of it. Oops, that one should go up there, and I should supposed to write down my information. Sequence A, B, and all data. Done. These are, like I said, these are disks that did not work on the other computer. sequence load, sequence A. We're getting lucky. We're getting very lucky here. We got some songs. And I'm learning how to use the keyboard again. About is the idea for the song, and for the most part it's there. some stuff that's off. All right, there's the sequence, the timing might be off, the sounds might be off. I don't care about that. It's the idea of the song is that I want to save, and it's working out good. Oh shit, what the hell? It's on measure 7. It went to record. It was recording on channel 1. What the fuck is it doing? I don't want to record on channel 1. No. What the fuck is going on? Why is it doing that? It's something to do with the buttons that I push. Oh, I'm on the wrong button. Fuck. I don't think I recorded over that. Just change the speed is what I did. I changed the speed to 102. I don't know, what are you going to do? That's okay. Disk 8. Let's go to global. Dump sequence data. This is going to be the last one I do here. sysx receive manual dump. Ay. We'll do file B on that disk. This is a job. definitely a job. And it doesn't really take that long. You know, by the time I walk in the kitchen to do something, walk back, I mean, it's going to be done. And I don't want it sitting there, you know. Okay. Display. Save as. Once we get our system going now. Disk. Disk 8. Disk 8 sequence A, right? Now go to disk. Load sequence B. Same stuff from the previous disk. Wise on the drums. No idea what that is. Go to global, dump sequence. Sequence to sex data, receive manual dump. And here. That's the last one I'm gonna do, and then I'm going to switch the stream up. I don't think I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna have my breakfast. Maybe try to accomplish something. Yeah, I gotta clean my house. It's a nice day out. I should go out. I gotta water my tomato plants. Is this a rip-roaring success? I fixed the keys. This display looks a little bit brighter. I'm learning how to use the keyboard again. Like, I've only used this thing probably 10 or 20 times in the last 10 years or so. And it's like, you know, you've got to connect all this mixers and the computers, and you got to deal with the noise issues and everything else. It gets to a point sometimes where you just give up. It's too much, you know. Display windows, save as. We are on disk number 8. Disk 8, sequence B. And now we'll go ahead and see if there's any combination data. Disk, load combo from A. There's something there. It says it's completed. So now I gotta go to sysx. I'm gonna do the manual dump again. I'm gonna do all data. I really wonder about what all data is doing. It should be 73K more data. We'll find out when we look at this. It's like 190 something. So as far as I'm concerned, the transferring of data is working better with this program called MIDI-AUX than the program called Change It. It's a little bit archaic, but the menus are like, it's got everything you need. Alright, so now I want disk 8 a data combi program A songs B. That's a weird freaking name, but it is what it is. Now the difference between that and B, 250, that's 70, it's 71K. Like the difference is a little small. It's supposed to be 73, but I don't really know why the discrepancy. I'm not too concerned about it. Now I'm going to attempt to load and see if there's a program. Let's see what the sequence sounds like here. Attempt to load file B combination program. And evidently there's some data there. It didn't really load that much. I wonder if it only loads changes. Alright, so now I gotta dump this data. And I'm going to compare this number to the one previous. That's why I put CP for combination program A. That tells me that it was the combination programs were on file A. It's about 200 and some odd, 250K of data. So I say to myself, I'm putting all this music on this computer, and I'm 60 some odd years old, and basically I'm going to, like, there's going to be some songs in there that will never get produced because of the way I feel about the music. And there's nobody, like, I mean, there might be some people, like, would be able to know how to use these programs and transfer the data back, 20, 30 years from now, whatever. Like, all this stuff's going to be obsolete, but you've got to use this stuff, to get this old data back. It's like the songs on the old Victrola and stuff. Alright, so I've got oh shit. Wait a minute. Save as disk 8 data CPB. Now I'm changing that from file to songs on B. So songs B is all of the songs on file B. Now I can compare the two, and for all intents and purposes they are identical, and that disk is done. So I spent, 2 hours and I got 3 disks done. Sequence A, B, A data, A, and B. Yep. That's it. So I'm having pretty good luck taking the sequences off of these disks that actually the other computer didn't see them. I'm gonna grab me a disk. Where are my other? I gotta show you this. Oh my god, I gotta show you this. at this. You got to see this right here. This is the pile of discs that I went through on the other computer to try to save them. To try to save the data on the other computer. So I'm going to just skim through this really quickly. Actually, now what I want to do, I've got master discs for the keyboard that would not load properly. It would not take all the data. And I've got a couple other discs, which I'm not going to use yet, that I got from somebody else. There was a fella that I knew many years ago. He also had a Korg keyboard, and he lived close by. And he made some general MIDI data discs for me, which I thought was pretty cool. Oh yeah, actually these discs on the bottom, they look like they're blank or something. I don't know what the hell they are really. That's just a lot of work to do. So I'll show you these ones here. So there's this one. These are they're called Vic discs. I don't know why. There's another one there. One of them is General MIDI. The other one says Vic 1 and Vic 2 Bank A and B, etc. There's a bunch of stuff in there. Those are the discs that fella gave me. I'm wanting to try those discs. I'm going to put them in this pile over here. So I got these discs right here that's got some really good music on it. I only have 2 of them. I got a demo disc that looks like this. And it looks like it says LBM, but I couldn't find it anywhere on the internet. And this disc here is the original disc that come with the keyboard. So I'm curious, you know. And of course the tabs were taken out so that you couldn't write over them. You could actually write over these discs and change them if you want, but these are like master discs, right? So I'm going to attempt to do these. Actually, you know what I could do? I'm going to save that for. You know what? I'm having a good vibe here. Let's try this. Let's try this. I'm going to try to load the sequence data from these discs. You know, when you go with the flow, you got a good thing going, you know, keep it going, right? And these are really, these are the most important discs I got. There's those 4 discs that I got here. Let's see. Alright, so we're going to go to dump sequence data. Oh wait, no, we got to go to disk. Put my glasses on because I can't see a damn thing. And we're going to load sequence data from file A. And here we go. Wish me luck. Sounds like it's working. I also downloaded about 2 gigabytes. Well, no, not 2 gigabytes. I downloaded a whole bunch of sequences and combinations. some of which I think are the original. I got them off of Indra's site. No, I got them off of a site somewhere, and so I'm going to put them on the USB stick. Now that I know how to, I have to send the data, but this computer won't send it. So when I go back and redo my stream again with all of this transferring of data, I'll have that USB data loaded up, and we can go listen to that. That'll be pretty cool. So it says it's loaded. Let's listen to the original demo music for the Korg 01W. Song number 0, 70mm film. Yes, baby! Alright, hang on. Listen very carefully at the beginning. Alright, you hear that noise? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to disk, and we're going to attempt to load combination program. Uh-oh, it said error. It said data error. Data error. I could not load it, okay, but I got the sequences. Let's go to file B. No, let's not. Let's just go ahead and play the sequences. Mind you, I didn't write this music. This is the O&W demo music. I'm not going to play through that whole thing. That was called 70mm film. This one's called But Is It Art? Something's not sounding right. Hear that noisy sound? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to global, and I'm going to load the ROM. And see if I can get rid of that noise. Now we're back to the normal master state of the keyboard sound. I'll see if that noise disappears. Too, that when I loaded some of the combination data or something, maybe some of the stuff didn't get loaded. Who knows, right? Alright, let's try number 2. This is called the Phantom. just switched automatically to number 3. Pushing the wrong freaking button. This is Aberesque. Oh, I like this one. Setting me on the drum channel. Why? Oh, track 1. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh my god, why do I keep hitting that freaking record button? I'm hitting this top button here, and that's a record button, and it's fucking screwing me up here. Sounds pretty cool, huh? Alright, this one's called For Fujimi. Fujimi. Called Too Much Sax. That sounds like a harmonica. Yeah, okay. Enough of that. This one's called WKRG Radio. Switching radio station. Stephen K. Oh shit. What happened? There's no music here. Oh. Let me try to load it again. Let's go ahead and do a receive manual dump. So I got most of the songs, but I didn't get that last one. You want to dump sequence data. Well, that's interestingly good, because that way, if when it loads the data, it's only going to load what it gets, what it can. Luckily, it can load some data instead of maybe not load all of the sequence data. At least I get something, you know. I can't remember if I loaded the combinations. It wouldn't load the combinations on A, and I didn't try the combinations on B yet. So this is going to be disk K01W songs A1. Now I'm going to try to load those songs again. The Stephen K song didn't get loaded. song is not loaded, but the combination stuff is. That's from the rock show previously. Alright, let's go back to the disk. I'm going to go to File B and load all sequence. That says it's completed. And we've got some different songs here. Alright, the first one's called The Jackal. Yes, I remember this, sort of. These are the good ones on file. With the Flow. Jazz, number 3. Number 4. Well, this actually starts 0, so this is number 3. This is your so-called big band music. I've actually played with a big band called Al Corey's Band. I played third trumpet. Whole set in the band. And believe me, it was fun though. think it's because of the equalizer on this input mixer. This one is called Serengeti. I like this one. This is a Scottish song. Scotland. Eloquence. By Ted. Something's happened. Let's go by Ted. What the fuck is going on? It's just jumping around. It's not playing the song. Oh my god, it's jumping everywhere. Why is it stopping? Why is it doing that? It's jumping songs. Let's see if I can play Alexander. It says Alexander and it's got a period. Well, what the fuck's going on? That had a whole bunch of stuff on it. There's nothing there. Something's weirded out. Yeah, there's no data there. Okay, let me go to dump sequence. Something weirded out. There was something there and then it disappeared. Yeah. I want to do these 2 disc dump sequence. See data. Yeah, something weirded out. When I went to buy TED, it said there was only one play button, and I don't know if there was anything on there. Then it jumped to Alexander, which had a bunch of play buttons, and then it jumped back to Jackal, which is at the beginning. I don't know why the songs are jumping from song to song automatically. I don't know if that's something that you can change in the global settings or not. So that's something I gotta look at. What time is it? 11. I'm in heaven. Oh shit. Oh, you know what I gotta do? Oh, I forgot to do something. Where's my phone? Damn it. Is he gonna be mad at me? I have been awake for a few. I have been awake for a few hours working on my keyboard and discs. Shit. I am still working on them and should be done in a few minutes. Alright. That's that. And let's see here. Display windows, save as. This is going to be B1. Now I'm going to try to load that sequence data again and see if that stuff shows up. It didn't get the last songs, which I don't know. I'm not surprised, I guess. Wow, Jesus, that phone is damn bright with my glasses on. I don't like these looking around with these glasses because it makes me dizzy. Let's go to sequence. Put my little earbuds back on again. my TED has a play on it, but it does not have any of the combinations loaded. Alexander is the same way. It doesn't have any combinations loaded. So those two songs didn't get loaded. Those were like at the end of the sequence data. Let's go to global. Disk. Load combi. Program data A. That doesn't sound good. It said it loaded the data. You know, if there's data missing from the sequence, there could be data missing from the combination and programs. So that's not reliable. Let's go to disk and dump all data. So data. That didn't sound good when the disk was loading. It was making some strange noises. I forgot to say good morning to my loved one when I woke up. I was like just really intent on getting this job started because it's complicated, you know. This is going to take all day. I mean, I'm streaming too, and you know, doing some stuff, but oh, we'll just do these couple of discs here, and then I gotta call it. Have some breakfast. Go water my tomatoes. I'm anxious to try that other disc though, because I don't remember what was on there for music. And the Vic disc, I don't know, you know. Okay, so this is disc. ONW. All data. CPA, which is combination programs A with songs B1. Now I'm just going to go ahead and try to load combinations and programs from file B and see if there's anything on there. That sounded a little different. I want to hear what the sequence sounds like. Yeah, Alexander and Ted are not there. Let's play Highlands. Well, wait, yeah, let's play that one. Oh shit, what did I do? You can do stuff in the pages. So now I seriously question loading the programs and combinations from the disk. I'm very worried about that now. that disc is done from what I can do. And I recall some of the names of the songs on a list from some stuff that I downloaded with this disc right here. So maybe I can reclaim those other sounds and whatever from another life. Now we've got this disc here, the LBJ, or L whatever the heck it is, that would not load on the computer. I will go to disk and load sequence A and see if we get something. It's loading. Well, that's just completed. Let's just go right to the songs and see if all of the songs are there. So that tells me like the beginning. No, that's a 0, 0. That first channel is 0, 0 on all of them. Let's take a listen here. First one's called Funky Music. Concerned, it says the first program is A00. I'm going to go ahead and load combination program from the disk, file A. Loaded it. It still says 0, 0. Next song, Vogue. Wait, let me go to program. Okay, those look like the same programs. That says it's a piano. Oh, it's a piano? Must be a piano. It's a piano. Maybe it's fine. Pretty good, huh? Called Everybody. next song is called Cherry Pink. I can get into it, but not today. The next one's Call Me. Moonlight Serenade. In the mood. Songs on here. Beauty and the Beast. Okay, I'm not into that one. Black or White. And the last one is Europa. All kinds of data to my computer over there. All kinds of crap sending over there. Alright, so that's, I mean, it looks like it says LBJ. Lyndon Baines Johnson. I'm just gonna call it LGB that disk. What the hell? Alright, so we gotta dump data. And I'm just gonna dump all data. Songs A. Receive manual dump, and away she goes. I'm just gonna go ahead and do these other two discs. Oh, these other two discs got a lot of stuff on it though. Maybe I'll save the other two discs for the next stream and use it and display it. Those two discs right there, I couldn't even read them on the computer. The keyboard is, for the most part, getting everything. Lucky. Didn't get those last two songs, though, but I think I've got them. There's some good stuff in there, you know, good ideas for music. That's why I wanted to download that stuff. But these discs don't last forever. If something happens, you put them near a TV or something and whatever, you know, you lose all the data. and that's it. It's like history. Okay, so we're going to save this as, we'll call it disk LBJ. All data, songs, A. I also downloaded CPA, combination program from file A. Alright, now we're going to load sequence file B. Oh, it says no file. Whether there's anything on there or not, I don't know. Let's try it again. Yep, there's no sequence data on there. Let's find out if there is any combination program data on B. No file. So that takes care of that disk. So I'm playing on track 1 on this funky music one. It don't look like they put a combination up there. It looks like they put individual programs and they played each program in a sequence. So we're going to find out exactly what each program sounds like. It's like programs from bank B and bank A all on tracks 0 through 7 or 1 through 8 or whatever. And then on the bottom is another whole section, and that's tracks 9 to 16, whatever. So we're just going to go through every track here, find out what's on there. That's track 1. So I'm only playing, there's no combination there. Okay, so you can set up, when you load a combination, it fills up the whole set of 8 tracks on the top. These are all different instruments, and I'm assuming when they play the song, they just play different sections of the song on each track and then loop it back, you know? My keyboard pounding away. I'll play it again without my mic on. It sounded like the song from that movie, that sci-fi movie. Close Encounters. Next track. Yeah, see this key right here, it's not hitting the I got a problem with these two keys. See how hard I gotta hit this? You don't even hear that other key. Next one. My volume's low. Nothing on track 10. That's the drum track. Yeah, you can hear the keys go pounding. Not good. What did I do? That's it, right? That's the end of that disc. I'm still curious, though. I really am curious about these other two discs over here. I want to look at the general MIDI. Alright, so the general MIDI is a whole different set of combinations and sequences. And I don't know if the VIC files are general MIDI or not. Let's go ahead and try to load the sequences. I want to call them VIC discs. VIC 3 is bank A, file B, because I'm curious to know what these are. This is the disc that another fella had the Korg ONW near where I live, and he made these up for me. I'll see if it loads. It said it loaded all data. No, it said it loaded the sequence, which I find hard to believe. Oh, there's nothing there. disk at all. Oh, you know what? These could just be combinations. They could just be combinations. So let me take this disk and we'll put it over here. I'm vaguely remembering this. No, this one, General MIDI programs, I think file A when using General MIDI 101 drums or whatever that is. File B, miscellaneous sounds. I think these are just programs and combinations. There's no songs on them. So, that is the end of my stream. I should turn this off when I turn the mixer thing off. I'm going to give the computer, this computer is done, the keyboard is done. You know, yeah. I think I want to give it a rest. And I wonder if this is Windows 7. This should have a power thing on here. Let's go to Alright, we're in power saver mode over there. And I'm going to X out of, look at all of the data this thing downloaded. Well, it was sending data to the computer. Volume, pans, all kinds of shit here. There's some red data. What's this? Pitch bend. It took the pitch bend information. So I'm going to shut this off. The keyboard shut off. That shut off. The mixer shut off. Those other two discs, I think they have programs and combinations only. And I'm losing my shit here. I gotta say that I'm 100% satisfied with the way everything is working. When I come back, the next stream is going to be using the other streaming computer and sending some of the data back to the keyboard. And using that USB on the other computer. I don't really want to do that right now. I gotta have some food, watch a movie, and then what? What's the plan? Like I said, is just to be. It's like a demo to show you how MIDI-aux works with transferring files between its program and the keyboard. Outside of that, I've got to just dump sequences. And I'll put them on this disk down here, on this computer down there. All right, so it shut itself off. Let me see if I can bring it back to life here. Yeah, it's not waking up. Oh, here it comes, I think. Or not. It's like it's frozen, like the keyboard just froze right up, so I probably shouldn't be doing that on that computer, huh? Wake up! Time to wake up, man! Uh-oh. Huh? What did it do? Reboot? Alright, I'm just gonna shut this baby off. Down here. All together. I'll give that a rest. And I guess that's it. I believe I've made some progress. We shall see next time around.